Hey everyone, my name is Bobby. I am the founder of Tam to Target, and this is our fourth video in our K12 outbound prospecting series. So today we're going to be diving deep into Clay, and we're going to talk a lot about segmenting and how we can be really smart about targeting the right decision makers, not just based on their title, but on actual need. Okay. So for some context, if you're running cold email campaigns right now or cold calling campaigns, and you're basically just targeting every curriculum director in X state, like Florida, for example, then you're already behind the curve in terms of smart targeting. What's working right now is really relevant, scraped, precise data that we're grabbing and using that to drive outreach, not mass email blasts. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to segment your lists so that you can make sure that the replies you're getting are from the people that are really going to be relevant and the ones that really need whatever product or service that you guys are offering. So I'm going to walk you through a real workflow in Clay that helped one of our clients find school districts that are struggling with bus issues. So that's specific, right? And that's how we were able to land about 29 meetings for them in the last 3.5 weeks. So here's the truth. In the reality, the days of just pulling those lists and sending out emails, they're gone. Okay. The winning vendors out there are really using custom web scraping. You're going to take your list and you're going to drop it down to about 5% of the districts that are really most likely to need what you offer. And before you say well, I'm going to limit my TAM, no, your conversion rate on those 5% is going to skyrocket because those are the ones that actually need your product or service, right? And a lot of K12 vendors have trouble finding what their ICP is because their ICP isn't necessarily a certain size of a district, especially when you have something that's pretty ubiquitous, right? Like all students could benefit from. In reality, your ICP, I wouldn't say it's a moving target, but it can change because the needs of districts change all the time, right? And so if you can find that need in real time, you're going to be able to target a lot more with a lot more relevant data and a lot smarter. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's walk through an example using Clay, how we built this workflow for a client. Again, these guys were focused on schools with major busing challenges. So we used a combination of Google scraping, local district news, other relevant data that I'm going to show you how to grab to isolate the right targets. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so let's go ahead and break down this workflow. I pulled a list of about 300 or so prospects into this example list. And what you'll notice is this is going to be data that's pretty similar to what you might be pulling out of your CRM, right? You probably have some sort of unique record ID. You've got the first and last name. You've got the school district here and then what their job title is, okay? You might have some other information in there, email, phone number, all that kind of stuff, okay? So if you've seen my past videos, the first thing that you'll notice that comes basically after the data is pulled in is your million verifier. So this is million verifier, and then this is bounce ban. Okay, so we're double verifying those lists. If the emails are okay or deliverable, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to output their email here so we know we can use it. Okay, so from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start doing some web scraping. Okay, so let's pause real quick and let's talk about the kind of the mindset here. I've got this list of 300 school districts. All of them have buses. All their kids have to take buses, but not every single one of them is having really relevant pain at this very moment in early April that are relevant to bus routes. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find any information we can about these school districts as it relates to busing. And then from there, we can have AI analyze the results and it'll help us figure out whether or not this is a good target for the particular the particular client that we're reaching out for, okay? So let's take a look at this first AI bot that we've built. It's called School Transportation Complaints. And if we go ahead and we edit this, you're going to see what it is really asking, okay? So for this particular AI bot, we're using 4.0 Mini as our model. It's a cheap, efficient, open AI model. We subscribe to it at Tam to Target, and that's why it's the best fit here. Clay has some awesome agents built in or some awesome models that you can use as well that you can explore. But the important one is that you're going to use something that's at least as powerful as 4.0 Mini, and you're going to do something that you already subscribe to. Otherwise, you're going to be using Clay credits, okay? And if you're comfortable using Clay credits, then go ahead and use one of their built-in models. That's fine too. Okay. So for context, we are giving the AI information about what it is that they're going to be doing. Then the objective is written right here. Find parent or public complaints specific to the school transportation system in this state related to this normalized school district name. Okay, so take a look. The way Clay works is you're able to put in dynamic fields and it'll run that same thing on every single one of these rows, right? So the school system in here related to this school system, okay? So it's telling you like, hey, in California, this is the school district we want, right? This is where you tell the AI exactly what to do, okay? So you go ahead and you tell it to visit the websites, find concrete complaints, summarize it, and then give it a backup where it's like, hey, if nothing's available, then output not available. It's always good to provide at least one example as well to your AI agent, if not more. Now, newsflash, we didn't write all this. AI did. So if you click on help me, you can actually just type in what you want it to do and it'll output something for you. So I would encourage you guys to do that first. Then you can go ahead and you can output, like kind of tell it like, how do you want this thing to output? Well, I just want it to output a field that's called parent complaints, and it's going to output as text. And when you run that, these are the parent complaints that we get. Okay, so let's look at a couple examples here. Parent complaints. So parents in Paso Robles are frustrated with significant bus driver shortages, reducing routes from 15 to 1, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's interesting. Then there's some down here that are not available. Then there's this one. Parents are anxious about the safety of school bus routes due to developing sinkhole near roads. Okay. Well, in my opinion, a software or a product that can help with bus routing probably is only applicable for this one up here, where they're frustrated with driver shortages and reducing routes from 15 to 1. Okay. But I don't want to have to go through every single one of these and figure out which one is a relevant target for my client or not. We want AI to do it. And here's how we go ahead and rock and roll with that. We're going to add another level of AI bot to it, and we're going to build this one out to read the output from the first one and determine whether it was a good target or not. So let's look at it. You can see we did the same thing where we used the help me button. Basically, the objective is to evaluate and classify them as a news target or not a target. And then we basically said, hey, review the complaints here, assess whether it can be solved by bus transportation and routing software, and then output news target or not a news target, then output it, okay? So when we did that, these are the different results we got, and then we get some reasoning as well. Okay, so now is the first time you're gonna see, it's a little wonky, right? News target, not a target, news target, then there's this one, like what the heck is this? Okay, so you click on it, you're like, all right, parents report more late buses after, okay, this is just a bunch of these news targets. So what's happening here is that the AI is outputting a few different examples, and that's not really what we want. We want it to either say news target or not a target. This one down here as well. Parents express concern that some students waited hours for a bus. Ooh, that's not good, but that's not what we want it to output. AI is not foolproof. Sometimes you have to be a little bit stricter with it. So let's go back in and let's change that. I'm going to add a 7th here. Only output not a target or news target. If you are unsure, output not a target. I'm going to hit save and don't run. Now let's go ahead and rerun these ones that came back a little bit strange, and we'll see if that fixes it. In the meantime, let's talk about what we're going to do next. So we now have these 290, and we're going to run it through these two different AI pieces. And what's going to end up happening is we're going to have two classifications of targets, a news target or not a target. All right. The news target ones, we have so many options there. We can generate a custom call script or a custom email and do outreach, immediately pick up the phone and just wing it, right? You could just say, hey, I read this news article about X, Y, and Z. Or it could be that you're actually being more sophisticated about it and you put them into a targeted like ABM style marketing play. Because oftentimes we talk with our marketing teams and they're like, hey, we want to run ABM. But it's like, okay, let's do ABM for these districts. Why? Because they happen to be in this state. And that's not the way we want to do it. We want to do it based on actual need. So now we can do that. We can run really smart ABM plays based on what we now know about these prospects. And the cool thing is this is going to change maybe on like a monthly basis. So you can build workflows where you're constantly kind of scraping this data and figuring out whether they're a target or not. And this is just a target based on a news scrape. We could also think about what are other reasons why somebody would benefit from our product or service, and we can build AI bots around that. And that's what I would encourage you to do for the next step. So we would take the news targets and we would target those immediately with some outbound campaigns. And then if it's not a target, we're going to take that list and we're going to further segment it. We're going to get creative. We're going to think, okay, what are the other reasons why somebody would benefit from our product or service? And we're going to build AI bots to figure out if they meet those needs as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and pause here. This is how we can really take a list and get a lot smarter about our segmenting. Okay, so when you have that level of context, in a lot of ways, your cold emails and your cold calls, they start to kind of write themselves. Because instead of saying, we help districts improve transportation logistics, we say things like, hey, I saw a recent news article about the bus delays in XYZ city. We've helped districts in the same situation reduce route issues in 30 days or something like that, right? So you have a much more relevant impact statement that you can use in your cold calls and in your emails. And that's the kind of message that's getting replies because it's specific and it's real. It's not this generic fluff, right? So if you're really just still relying on title filters and kind of guessing whether it's relevant or not, you're going to lose people who are running a data-first, relevance-led outreach program like this. Okay? So don't lose to them. Learn, adapt, change the way that you are working your outbound motion. So next up, we're going to go ahead and really take this and put it into actual copy. Okay, so let's see how we can go with these relevant lists, build email copy, and then also we can move into the idea of how can we create custom cold call copy that's really going to cut through the noise. Okay, so hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. You can find me on LinkedIn. Happy to help. Thanks.